Magach designation refers to a series of tanks in Israeli service. The tanks are based on the American M48 and M60 Patton tanks. Magach 1, 2, 3 and 5 are based on M48 tanks. Magach 6 and 7 are based on M60 tanks. Service history. The tanks were sold to the Israel Defense Forces by West Germany during the 1960s and 1970s. Several dozen Jordanian M48 tanks, captured intact during the 1967 Six-Day War, were also commissioned into service, adding to the 150 already in service at the time. During the war, the Israeli tanks served in their original configuration. Following the 1967 war, several modifications were made to improve the tank to M48A3 level, resulting in the Magach 3. These modifications included replacing the original 90mm gun with the British 105mm L7, lowering the command turret's profile, upgrading the communication suite, and replacing the flammable and weak gasoline engine with a 750 horsepower diesel one. When the Yom Kippur War broke out, Israel had 540 M48A3 and M60A1 tanks. During the war, the tanks suffered heavy losses. The location of flammable hydraulic fluid at the front of the turret was discovered to be a severe vulnerability. After the war, Israel had only about 200 M48A3 and M60A1 tanks. After a large number of Israeli tanks were destroyed or terminally hit during the war, mostly in the Sinai front against entrenched Egyptian infantry armed with 3 Sagger anti-tank missiles. War losses were replaced with new M48A5 and M60 during the 1970s. Prior to the 1982 invasion of Lebanon, Magach 6 tanks were fitted with explosive reactive armor. Further work has been done on the upgraded Magach 6 models, including new armor, Merkava-based tracks, new fire controls, a thermal sleeve for the gun and smoke discharges, eventually resulting in the Magach 7 model, which is still in use with the IDF. Since the 1980s and 1990s, the Magachs have been gradually replaced by Merkava tanks as Israel's frontline main battle tank. However, a large majority of the IDF's armored corps continued to consist of Magach variants until the 1990s, and the tank was continuously upgraded during this time. By 2006, all Magachs in regular units have been replaced by Merkavas. In July 2015, Israel officially unveiled the existence of the Pera, a version of the tank converted into a tank destroyer by being equipped with an anti-tank guided missile launch station. The original turret has been enlarged to install a launcher under armor for 12 Tamaz Spike NLOS missiles, which can destroy targets out to 25 kilometers. The front is fitted with a fake cannon to identify it as a standard tank, but it can be easily identified by a curved antenna mounted at the rear on the roof of the turret, which is erected in firing position. Additional features include add-on frontal armor and stowage boxes on the turret sides. Pictures of the Pera were first released during Operation Protective Edge in July 2014. Source of the name Magach. Contrary to a popular belief, Magach is not an abbreviation but a Hebrew word meaning ramming hit. However, as the word is very rarely used and is not known to many Hebrew speakers, several popular explanations of the name exist, short for Merkava Jibera Hel. One version states that the real source of the name is the designation M48A3, 8 is Chet and 3 is Gimel, like the above, but G stands for Germany, who are supplier of the first M48 tanks to Israel. Yet another version says that M48A3 can be read as Magach. A once popular macabre joke in the IDF said that Magach stands for Moval Ja'at Charukot, Charred Bodies Carrier, probably referring to the Yom Kippur War losses and particularly to the aforementioned flammable hydraulic fluid problem of the M48. Other variants include Meshupergafyan and even Mekanat Gilish Hashmal N. Versions: Magach 1, M48A1, Magach 2, M48A2C, Magach 3, modernized M48A1A2C A3. The modifications included British 105mm L7 cannon, low-profile commander's cupola, upgraded communication suite, a 750-horsepower diesel engine Continental AVDS 17902A with Allison CD 850-6 transmission. They were eventually fitted with Blazer-era Magach 5 M48A5 in the original configuration, generally similar to the Magach 3, but had slightly different engine and transmission AVDS 17902D and CD 856A accordingly. They were eventually fitted with Blazer-era Magach 6, modernized M60, M60A1, M60A3, fitted with the Erden low-profile cupola and Blazer-era Magach 6A, modernized M60A1. All vehicles were eventually upgraded to the Magach 6B level. Magach 6B, similarly modernized M60A1 Rise engine, Magach 6B GAL, Magach 6B with GAL fire control system, Magach 6B GAL Batash, Magach 6B GAL fitted with 4th generation passive armor and 908 horsepower engine. The turret has angled sides and angled mantlet. This variant is sometimes unofficially referred to as Magach 7D or Magach 8. A limited number of vehicles were converted from the Magach 6B GAL variant. Magach 6B BAS, Magach 6B fitted with BAS fire control system. A limited number of vehicles were converted from the Magach 6B variant. Magach 6C, modernized M60A3. Magach 6R, modernized M60, with engine upgraded to the AVDS 17902AG level. Magach 6R asterisk, Magach 6R with preparations for mounting Nachal's fire control system. Magach 6M, Magach 6R asterisk fitted with Nachal's fire control system. Magach 7 M60 with 908 horsepower AVDS 17905A engine, additional passive armor, new fire control and Merkava-based tracks. Different configurations exist. Magach 7A fixed flat mantlet with gun slots. Magach 7B, an interim model with armor configuration similar to the 7C, apparently never reached production. Magach 7C, fixed angled mantlet with gun slots. Para-missile carrier, guided missile artillery variant armed with the Spike missile. Magach should not be confused with the Sabra series of upgrade packages for the M60A1A3, which were developed for export to Turkey. Sabra includes upgrades similar to those of the Magach 7, but an essential difference is that it is armed with the MG251 120mm smoothbore gun. Operators: Israel. Bibliography: Bresner, Amiad, Shirian.